You didn't lose that client because they didn't have the money. You lost that client because they couldn't overcome their fear of change. Today, I'm going to unravel certain methodologies we use to help clients overcome their fear of change. And stick around until the end because I'm going to show you a methodology that will change your whole client's perspective on how they view change and that fear of change. Welcome to the Power Shift. I'm Oliver Caminos with St. Germain Properties. The Power Shift is all about showing you how to attract luxury clients rather than chasing them. If you'd like to receive more information like this so you can really break into or excel in the luxury space, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I want to hear from you. Tell me in the comments some of the nightmares or some of the stalled deals that you experienced last year.
Most agents think deals stall because buyers need more time. Buyers are shopping other agents. Buyers are uncertain about the market, but that's rarely true. Deals stall because of the fear of change. Every human makes decisions emotionally and defends them logically. When a buyer is about to make a major life move, new home, new price range, new lifestyle, their brain fires off protective signals. They think, what if I make the wrong move? What if I regret this? What if my identity changes and I'm not ready? Your job isn't to overcome objections. Your job is to lower the fear of change so the real conversation can begin. Most realtors respond to objections with arguments, but arguments increase resistance. Instead, I use what I call POV framing, adjusting how the buyer views the situation without confronting them. Example, buyer says, "We need more time." Most agents say, "What do you need more time for?" That feels confrontational. Use POV framing instead. Got it. Some of the people I talk to who say they need time are trying to make sure they're not making a move that disrupts their lifestyle. Others are trying to avoid rushing and regretting it. Which one feels closer to you? You're not arguing, you're showing them you understand the emotional landscape they're navigating. This lowers resistance and gets the buyer to open up about the real stall point. Most objections aren't about money or inventory, they're about identity. People act in ways that match who they believe they are. If a client sees themselves as smart with money, cautious, strategic, responsible for their family, they'll hesitate if the decision feels reckless or rushed. So I use identity frames to align the decision with who they believe they are. Example, from what you've told me, you're someone who makes strategic decisions, not emotional ones. It sounds like waiting could actually create more risk than clarity. Want to break down the options the way a strategic buyer would? Notice how that feels. You're not pushing. You're reinforcing their identity and guiding them into action aligned with who they want to be. A mistake I hear constantly, agents try to sound confident and authoritative when the buyer is uncertain. Wrong tonality creates resistance. Use relaxed curiosity. Speak like a doctor diagnosing, not a salesperson convincing. Example, tone, soft, measured. Help me understand what's actually holding things up for you right now. The brain relaxes. When tonality softens, honesty increases. Think of tonality as the key that unlocks truth. When buyers stall, it's almost never the objection they say. There's a hidden problem, something deeper they're not articulating. Your goal is to discover it ethically. Use this sequence. 1. Label their hesitation. Sounds like there's something you're unsure about. 2. Give them permission to be honest. A lot of people hesitate for reasons they don't want to say at first. 3. Invite them to expand. What's really giving you pause? When the hidden problem comes out, you can finally help them. Here's the moment I promised you. When you uncover their real fear and frame the decision around what they value, you can create ethical urgency. Urgency based on facts, not pressure. Example, based on your goals. Protecting your family and making a strategic move, waiting may actually increase your risk and reduce your options. Want to look at the scenarios side by side so you stay in control? Notice, no fear tactics, no pressure, just clarity. Clarity creates action.
So here is the final methodology I want to share with you that will really help your buyer or seller overcome their fear of change. And I call this playing devil's advocate. So much of our efforts as salespeople are geared around guiding our buyer or seller to really think, what will happen if we do something? How great would it be if we could do this? On the flip side, we want to get our buyers to have a really come to Jesus moment on, what does my situation look like now? What happens if I don't do anything? So, that might go something like, John, we talked about moving possibly into a larger house so you could have family gatherings and possibly that water view that you've always wanted. But, your house is nice. I mean, what happens if you just kind of stay here for the next year or two? And what you're really framing is, you've already talked about what could happen, what could be, but really getting them to mentally test drive what happens if nothing changes. And this is the key point. You really need to build a big separation between where they are now and where they could be. As human beings, sometimes we put rose-colored glasses to really analyze our situation until someone calls us on it. So you want to, in a very nice and professional way, what happens if nothing changes? What does that look like for you personally? Oh, Oliver, we could stay in our house, but geez, every time we have people over, we have people in the living room, the dining room, and it feels kind of like unconnected. And you might say, unconnected, what do you mean by that? And they'll be like, well, we're trying to have these big family gatherings once a year, and we feel that everyone kind of stays in their own little cliques, and it would be great if we were all together around a big table overlooking the water. So you're having them really analyze their current situation. So you really don't need to sell the what could be, because they're seeing that large arc, that big distance between here's where I am now and here's where I could be. And that's what's required for them to overcome their fear of change. If their perceived benefit is not so great, it's not going to overcome the fear of change. Because let's all be real. Moving, it kind of sucks. No one likes to pack up all their belongings and move and redo your cable bill and your electric bill, new water bill, meet new neighbors. There's a lot of hassle that goes with that. But if the perceived benefit, geez, I'm really not happy with where I am now, the devil's advocate, and we've already laid the foundation as to where they could be. If they see a really large delta there, a really large perceived benefit, that's what's going to overcome their fear of change. There's no mental trickery or slick scripts. It's just walking them through, here's where you are, here's where you could be. Is that perceived benefit enough to overcome your fear of change? Well, if you would like to receive more information like this, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, drop me a comment on some of the techniques or maybe problems where you're having challenges breaking into the luxury space. Until next time, this is Oliver Caminos with The Power Shift.